That is one of the most different smartphones I've ever seen. So, you probably heard about the Red Magic 3, the frankly insane value for money gaming smartphone, but you probably haven't seen what's inside here. So, where's my knife? What have I done? Okay. There is an insane amount of packaging here, as well as product. So far you can see these two massive boxes. Let's start with this one. This should be good to just... Okay, so this unboxing experience has actually 4 primary tiers. So we're going to start with 1, work our way through to 4, and in my opinion they kind of get better and better. Okay, so first up is a Red Magic t-shirt. Pretty simple design, it's just the company's logo. It's a large size, which is kind of generous, but I'll take the compliment. And the second part of this first tier over here is this little box over here. Let's take a look. That failed. That failed again. This is going terribly. Cool. These are the Red Magic Nerds, and they're definitely some of the better earphones you can get for just over $20. They've got a snug fit and warm, bassy sound. Okay, so the second tier of this unboxing is kind of a lot, so let's get cracking on that. That is efficient packing right there. That's how you do it. 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna have to get rid of these. Okay, so 10 Red Magic 3s, and we're not done yet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So this right here is a case designed specifically for the Red Magic 3 with a particular function in mind. The packaging is pretty simple, and the case itself made of polycarbonate, and this adds bulk to an already massive smartphone, but the end of the case allows you to slot another accessory onto it. And so, as you can probably imagine, there's another thing. 1, 3, 5, 8, 9, 10. So this right here is what they call the Pro handle. It comes in a matte black cardboard box, and it's pretty simple. You just get an instruction manual as the first thing on top, and then the handle itself. And essentially it's a controller, but because it's built with the phone in mind, it works particularly well. You've got shoulder buttons on both the top and the bottom, and what that means is you can slide this over the top of your phone as you would expect to be able to, but also you can flip it round and slide it the other way as well. To map the buttons, you literally just give this red key at the bottom a tap, and then drag the overlay on top of the virtual buttons of your game. And then straight away, the physical buttons of the controller will be controlling the virtual buttons of your game. And it feels good, at least definitely a step above a cheap $7 controller you could find on eBay. And we're still not done on the second tier of this unboxing. 5, 10. So this right here is what they call the Red Magic docking station. There are essentially 4 elements to this. You've got the glowing Red Magic logo on the back, and then a headphone jack, Ethernet port, and a USB Type-C port. The Ethernet is pretty self-explanatory, but the other 2 are ports that are already available on the phone itself, and so the idea behind this is that you can have your cables coming outwards from the back of your phone so they don't interrupt your gaming. So there are still 2 more pretty amazing things I wanted to show you, but as you can probably tell, we've definitely got the quantity of stuff here to do a giveaway, and so if that's something you want to keep up to date with, then be sure to follow the Mr. Who's the Boss Instagram page. There's a couple of logistical things we need to figure out, so it's not 100% confirmed, but if we do launch it, that's where it will be. Anyways, tier 3, and on the outside this looks pretty similar, but inside the box it looks quite significantly different. Okay, so you've probably seen the black version of the Red Magic 3 before. This is the version I was given, this is the version most reviewers would have been given. But there's also a red variant. Yeah, but it looks visually quite distinct and is definitely the one that I would go for out of the 2. It's quite cool how they've done this. The red version of the phone is pretty much the inverse of the black version. Pretty much all of the accents, the highlights, have been flipped from red on the original model to black over here. So also inside the box, underneath that, you've got the standard 3 compartments, one of which has the fast charging brick inside, which is that one right there. The other one has the cable, which is USB Type-C, and the third one is your standard stuff, your SIM ejector tool, your instruction manual, but then you also get a few Red Magic branded stickers. That's done, but there's one more thing I want to show you, the thing that I personally was most excited to see out of this entire unboxing, and that is what is inside this box over here. This is a limited edition version with a bit more of a punch. That's the one. Look at that. That is one of the most different smartphones I've ever seen. You'll probably think the same. It's out there. So, this is the Camo edition of the Red Magic 3. It's based loosely off the original black model, but with a camo texture and then another decal on top of that. And it's kind of ironic that for a phone that already stands out this much, camo is the finish they've gone for. It's definitely not going to blend in, but at the same time, that's not really a bad thing. Now, I mentioned that this device packs even more of a punch, and so compared to the black and the red models, which have 8 gigs of RAM and 128 gigs of storage, this thing right here has 12 gigs of RAM and 256. And so if you boot this up into gaming mode, which turns on the fan, which restricts background processes, and then you run Antutu, you get a really impressive score. On my first run, I was bordering on 390,000. Now, whilst it does have its caveats, the Red Magic 3 is a shining example of value for money. Even if we go for the slightly less price-efficient Camo variant, with all 3 accessories bundled in, it is still cheaper than the Asus ROG phone here in the UK, which has a last generation Snapdragon 845 chip and 8 gigs of RAM. Bear in mind that that device, alongside a couple of other gaming phones, are pretty likely to get a new 2019 variant soon. They'll definitely need to offer more, because I've no doubt they'll be more expensive. The Magic also has a huge 5000 mAh battery, it has capacitive shoulder buttons and a dedicated fan inside, which in my testing was keeping the phone about 8 degrees cooler than my Samsung. The main caveats with this being the build, which is bulky and makes the phone wobble on a flat surface, and the camera, which is only a single cam, but does still have the same 48 megapixel sensor seen on the OnePlus 7 Pro. Alright guys, if you enjoyed the video, a sub would be massively appreciated. My name is Aaron, this is Mr. Who's the Boss, and I'll catch you in the next one.